This world has been chaotic since the beginning of time. It will continue to be chaotic. You got to know where you stand in this place and what you need to do to preserve your inner peace. And like I said, that's know when to know to take a break from the world. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Black Girls Odyssey. I'm your hostess, Breeze. And today I figured I would do a personal thought video because it's been a while since I've done one. And so today this video is going to be titled on how I preserve my inner peace. But before we get into it, I need you to hit that like and subscribe button. I also need you to chime that notification bell so you will be aware of any videos I upload about my adventures in traveling. So before I get into this video, I wanted to talk about a word that I discovered about a few months back, maybe about 3 or 4 months back. And the word is called eudaimonic. This is the first time I ever heard of this word a few months back. And so I decided to share this word with you all. Okay, so according to positivepsychology.com, eudaimonic refers to a state of well-being, happiness, a human flourishing derived from living a life of meaning, purpose, and self-realization. And so this whole video is based on that and pretty much that word alone. These are the 5 ways on how I preserve my inner peace. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump right into it. So the 5th way how I preserve my inner peace is I had to define what my inner peace was. So just like many of you all, I was working, going to school, did all the things that society deemed as important and I needed to do. I did all those things, but I was not happy. I was not at peace. I was in chaos like most of everyone is when they're living their life and working. And so I had to step back from that life and I had to define and decide what brings me peace. So it's things like what brings me peace, what brings me happiness, what brings me joy. And one of those things that brings me joy, as you all know, is traveling. Traveling brings me joy. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It brings me peace. It makes me happy. It puts a smile on my face. Just being at work thinking about going on a trip makes me happy. And so I had to figure out what that is. And then when I figured out what that was, like I said, traveling, I centered my world around traveling. So when I go to work, I work primarily to save money to travel. When I do anything, I make sure that I don't get a lot of debts or excess debt so it can prevent me from traveling. I make sure that travel is the center of my world because that is what makes me happy, what gives me peace and joy. And so traveling is in the center and everything else works around it. As a matter of fact, point 3 in a second will explain to you why that is. But for the most part, you have to define what your inner peace is to be able to act on it. If you don't know what brings you peace, of course, you cannot pursue it, which is one of the scriptures in the Bible about how to seek peace and pursue it. And that's what I'm doing. So I know what brings me inner peace now, and I'm acting on it. And so that is my 5th way to bring myself inner peace. It's just to identify what inner peace is to me. And that's my inner peace. Traveling. There we go. So if you're interested in knowing about traveling, sit down into a quiet place, a quiet space, and find out what brings you inner peace. It may not be travel. That's my thing. It may be baking. It may be sewing. It may be running and trying to get into a marathon. It could be numerous things. But you need to find out what brings you inner peace in order for you to be able to be at peace. Okay, my 4th way in maintaining and preserving my inner peace is I don't let everyone into my private business. There is a reason I'm sitting where I'm sitting at right now. And like I said in a second, point three will tell you that. However, I don't let people into my private business. It's human nature to want to share your joy and happiness with other people. Everyone is not happy for your achievements, your accomplishments, and what you have planned to do. And if you don't want that to be disrupted, you need to keep your business to yourself. My grandmama used to say when she was living, God bless her, she used to say, don't tell everybody your business because everyone does not have the same faith as you. While you may believe that God can do something for you, someone may come along and feel like God can't do it, or maybe perhaps that you shouldn't do it, try and discourage you in any kind of way, and they'll make it seem like they're looking out for your best interest, but that's not always the case. So if you keep things private, then you don't have to worry about all that. And sometimes too, you will be working on something and it does not go through the way that you want it to go through. But if you do fail at something, or I'll say temporarily postpone at something, then you can just keep that loss to yourself. You don't need to spread that to your world, because people have a way, and which is human nature too, they have a way of coming back and saying, oh, I thought you was going to do this and I heard you was doing that. So what happened with that? What happened with this? If you keep your business to yourself and you decide not to pursue that thing anymore, then you don't have to worry about people bringing it up or having to face that failure anymore, because you kept that business to yourself. Just keep your private business to yourself and you won't have these problems. I know it's hard to refrain from doing that and to celebrate your joy within yourself, but you need to put that into practice, because everybody is not on the same page as you, and a lot of people do not wish you well. My mother, on the other hand, used to say people will pull nuts against you, which is the same thing as my grandma saying that everyone doesn't have the same faith as you. So that's something you need to take under consideration when you're working towards a goal or something. Keep your mouth closed and keep your business to yourself. It works every time. I've done it and it hasn't failed me yet. It's mostly when I talk about it that's when the problems start. So remember that. Don't tell people about your private business. Okay, my third way of preserving my inner peace, and I really highly suggest this to a lot of people, is to know when to take a break from the world. The world is chaotic. The world has always been chaotic since the inception of the world. And you need to know when to take a break from it. Remember, I was saying just now about that's why I'm sitting where I'm sitting. So I decided to take a 90-day, what I consider to be a respite, and I decided to come on down to Latin America. Now, I will not be in Latin America for the whole 90 days. I decided because I needed a break. I needed a break from work. I needed a break from being around a whole lot of people. I needed a break from the United States. I don't know what's going on, but every time you turn around, there's something always crazy going on. And I say, you know what? I need a break from this. And so I decided to take a 90-day respite away from the noise and come someplace where there's less noise. So that's what I'm doing now. I know when to take a break. And I understand that people have a lot going on. Children need stuff. If you're married or have a relationship with someone, that person needs stuff. There's always something going on and you're always going to be needed. However, I've decided that I come first and I need a break. And I need a break for some time now. For the past year, I've been working 2 jobs. It has been, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't easy either. Sometimes I'd be working shifts on top of shifts and going from traveling with my job, going from one job to the next to work. It was chaotic. And I did this for over a year. And when I told you I was tired, I was tired. So tired that I can actually feel my mental health breaking down. I could feel myself just being like, no, I have to leave, and I have to leave very, very soon. That date on the calendar could not have come fast enough because I knew that my body was breaking down. I couldn't do it anymore. And so you need to know that limit. You need to know when you need to take a break. take a break from the world, take a break from the chaos, go on a trip, take some time off from work, and stay at home. I know some of y'all got hours and hours of PTO. I've met you people. I've heard people tell me, well, yeah, I got like 200 hours of PTO, but I don't want to use it, blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the year, they're even giving you a choice to cash out or let your PTO expire. So what are you holding on to it for? Sometimes they'll let a portion of it roll over to the next year, but they ain't gonna let no 200 hours roll over from one year to the next. So why not use it? If you just got to use it to stay home and just relax and just enjoy yourself, so be it. Book a spa day, book a little road trip, a weekend road trip, do something where you can use those PTO hours. I'm not about to sit on mine. Now, I've been working for a very long time, and since I've been getting PTO, the most PTO I've ever had at one time was 50 hours because I cash mine out as soon as I get it. So I'm just telling you, know when to take a break from the world. That job ain't going nowhere. If you drop dead right now, who will do your job? They'll kick somebody, they'll kick you. They're going to wish your family the best for you, not kick you to the curb because you already pretty much gone. All they do is give your family their regards and someone will be filling your position at work. And trust me, I know because I know of this happening to somebody. So like I said, know when to take a break from the world. You don't have to tell me twice. You ain't even got to tell me once. I know when I need to take a break from the world. And I really suggest and highly suggest to people to know that limit. Know when to take a break. Don't be in fear of losing a job. Hopefully that job will be there when you get back. If not, to me, there's always jobs to be had. So I'm just going to tell you straight up, know when to take a break from the world. It will run you down and your body cannot handle it. So that's my third way of preserving my inner peace, is I know when to take a break from the world. Okay, my second way of preserving my inner peace is I don't let other people's opinions worry me. People are always going to have something to say, whether good, bad, agreeing with you, disagreeing with you. I don't have time to go back and forth. I don't value people's opinions too much. I take what I need to take from their opinions and I move on. But for the most part, I don't let other people's opinions worry me. Somebody always got something to say. This is why I decided to keep this, like I said, at point 4, my private business. I didn't let a whole lot of people know that I was leaving and going on break. The people who needed to know, and those who didn't need to know, that was a done deal. But that's something that I know I needed to do, and that's exactly what I did. I didn't worry about other people's opinions because people will say things such as this. Oh, well, what about your job? Are you going to have a job when you get back? Or they'll say something like this. Oh, well, bills, you have bills to pay. Oh my God, how are you going to take care of your bills? You're always going to have bills to pay. The best way to know is how to pay those bills before you leave so you don't have to worry about them when you come back. So one of the things that I did before I came out here, I gave up my apartment. I was not going to pay for a place, 2 different places while I was not there, while I was not occupying that space. So I gave it up. I said, when I come back by the grace of God, which I'm supposed to go back in mid-fall, and I'm going to go back to work. If they want me back, I'll go back to work. And then I'll just keep on keeping it on. I'm not worried about anything. God has provided before and keep providing again. There's always, when there's a will, there's a way. I don't have time to be stressing out about that. And so, like I said, I'm not worrying about other people's opinions. People always got something to say. If you want to let other people's opinions dictate to you, then you go on ahead. But if you would do, like I said, in point 4 and keep your private business private, then you won't have to worry about point 2 where people giving you their opinions. And I just said that. So that's going to wrap up my second way how I preserve my inner peace is I don't worry about other people's opinions. There we go. And my last and final way of preserving my inner peace is I don't let my situation or problems get the best of me. I'm always searching for solutions. I classify myself as a woman of solutions. I'm always seeking out a solution for myself. And so for me, I like to give myself options, multiple options, not just one solution to a problem, multiple solutions to a problem, because it's always good to have something to fall back on if one solution does not work. And so I'm always seeking out something to make my life better, to make me feel better, to make me feel healthier, to make me feel like I'm living life and not just coasting through it. And so when there's a problem, I'm facing this problem, I'm looking for solutions. Sometimes I know this sounds bizarre, maybe even a little bit weird. I even try to find solutions to a problem before it even occurs. For example, I'm 44. I'll be 44 this month by the grace of God towards the end of the month. I am preparing for my old age. Now, some people will say, oh, you still got time. You don't need to worry about that. Yes, I am worried about that. Because just because you're young now does not necessarily mean that something can happen to you when you get older. Something can happen to me now. I have to prepare for that. I have to prepare for my old age. And I don't believe in that well, you can just wait and let's see what happens. I don't do wishful thinking. I like to plan. I like to prepare. That's how come I'm able to take these 90 days off, because I planned for this. I was planning for this since last year. So I'm always looking for solutions to my problems, even before they start. And I know you can plan well and things still don't work out. That's when I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But if I can prepare for my old age now, why not? If I can try to find a solution to a problem that's going to be coming, why not do it now? And so that's how I see myself when I'm thinking about preserving my inner peace. I'm thinking about finding solutions to problems that's ongoing and problems that's going to be upcoming. That's how I handle that. And that's my suggestions to you all. So that's how I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to tell you the 5 ways, like I said, I'm going to recap the 5 ways how I preserve my inner peace. 5 is to identify what your inner peace is to begin with, define it, and act on it. That's as simple as that. It don't get no more complex than that. 4 is don't let everyone into your business. I know you want to rejoice with other people, or you want other people to rejoice with you, but it's not going to happen. Keep your private business private. Another thing that's just cut and dry and just as simple. Number 3 is know when to take a break from this world. This world has been chaotic since the beginning of time. It will continue to be chaotic. You got to know where you stand in this place and what you need to do to preserve your inner peace. And like I said, that's know when to know to take a break from the world. Number 2, don't worry about other people's opinions. People are always going to have something to say. Always have something to say. I've never seen it not happen. I don't worry about people and I leave them be. And number 1, don't let situations get the best of you. Always look for solutions. That's the best way how to deal with problems. And also, if you try to deal with them far in advance, then even if the problem arises, it wouldn't be that bad because you already know it was going to happen anyway. So that's one of the things that I also keep to keep my inner peace. So those are my 5 ways of preserving my inner peace. Also, with this Airbnb, I love this Airbnb. And let me explain to you. So like I said, I'm in Latin America right now. I don't feel comfortable saying the country and I won't say it right now. Maybe I'll probably talk about it later, but right now it's not the time. And so I'm like 5 or 6 blocks down from the beach. I don't have an ocean view. However, though, when I open up all the windows in this apartment and I open up the front door and a sliding glass door, you can feel the sea breeze just come rushing in here. You can also smell it. You can smell that sea and sand and salt in the air, and I just love it. I can sit in this spot practically all day long and just sit here and just soak up the breeze. This apartment also has a lot of natural lighting. You can probably tell a little bit by the glare on the wall in the back. It has a lot of natural lighting. That's why I have the shades down right now, because the glare was reflecting on my recording and I wasn't able to have a nice, reasonable recording. But it has a lot of natural light. So when the morning comes by the grace of God, I throw open the shades and blinds and I just let all that sunlight just come rushing in here. It makes me feel so comforted and warm and just cozy. I just love that feeling of that sea breeze coming in. So I will try to upload more videos. After all, I'm off for 90 days. I'll try to do them as frequently as I possibly can. In the meantime, I need you to again like and subscribe to this channel. I also would like you to share this video with someone else, especially someone who's struggling with maintaining or even receiving their inner peace. A lot of people don't know. Now, I'm not a licensed psychiatrist, counselor, or any of those things. I'm just telling you the ways how I preserve my inner peace, and I'm sharing it with you all so perhaps that they can also get some type of indication on how to get an inner peace in themselves. I mean, I find that inner peace is very important, especially in the world that we live in today. So you don't want to neglect that, ignore it, push it on the back burner or whatever. It's very important to do. Okay, so thank you all for listening. And again, make sure that you share this with somebody who may need to identify or know about how to preserve their inner peace or find it. Until next time, God bless. Take care.